In a distant land, there was a boy named Ritsu. Ritsu was a good-hearted boy, known in his small village for his kindness and helpful nature. However, Ritsu had one flaw: he struggled to control his temper. When he was angry or annoyed, he couldn't help but lash out, often saying things he would later regret. His words, sharp as knives, would cut through the air, leaving others hurt and himself filled with guilt. One day, after a frustrating day at school, Ritsu came home in a foul mood. His younger sister accidentally spilled water on one of his books. And in his anger, he shouted at her, calling her names that made her cry. His parents, hearing the commotion, were disappointed in Ritsu. They punished him by taking away his favorite toy and sending him to his room. Sitting alone, Ritsu felt the weight of his actions. He didn't want to hurt those he loved, but his temper seemed uncontrollable. Determined to find a solution, Ritsu decided to visit the master at the temple, hoping to learn how to control his anger. The next morning, Ritsu made his way to the temple and explained his problem to the wise master. "Master, I often lose my temper and say things I regret. How can I learn to control it?" The master, with a gentle smile, nodded and replied, "Ritsu, losing control of your temper can lead to consequences you might not foresee. Words spoken in anger can hurt deeply and cannot be taken back. Let me share with you a story that may help you understand the importance of patience and self-control." In a peaceful green meadow near a mountain, there was a sparkling lake where a turtle and two ducks lived together as best friends. They spent their days swimming, chatting, and enjoying each other's company. One year, however, the rains didn't come, and the lake began to dry up. By summer, the ducks realized they couldn't survive without water and decided to fly to another lake far away. They felt sad about leaving the turtle behind and shared their plan with him. Hearing this, the turtle was heartbroken. He pleaded with the ducks to find a way to take him along, not wanting to be left alone. The ducks were touched but worried. They explained that the journey was long and mostly over mountains, which made it impossible for the turtle to walk. But the turtle insisted, believing that his clever friends could find a solution. After thinking hard, one of the ducks came up with a plan. They would find a sturdy stick, and the turtle would bite down on the middle while the ducks held each end with their beaks. This way, they could carry him as they flew. However, there was one crucial rule. The turtle had to stay completely silent during the entire trip. If he opened his mouth, he would fall. The turtle eagerly agreed, determined to keep quiet. The ducks found a stick, and with the turtle holding on tightly, they lifted him into the air. As they flew over a nearby village, the people below looked up and saw the unusual sight. They were amazed and began pointing and shouting to one another. "Look at that turtle flying," one person said. "He thinks he can fly just like the ducks," another laughed. The turtle could hear their voices, and though he tried to ignore them, he grew more and more annoyed. "How dare they laugh at me," he thought. "They don't know how hard this is." Finally, unable to hold back, the turtle opened his mouth to shout, "I'm flying because of my friends, you fools!" But as soon as he opened his mouth, he let go of the stick and fell from the sky. Tumbling down to the ground below, he landed with a hard thud, and his shell cracked into pieces. The turtle's fall was a painful reminder that sometimes it's better to stay calm and quiet even when others are trying to provoke you. Speaking out in anger can lead to unintended and unfortunate consequences, as the turtle learned too late. After listening carefully to the master's story, Ritsu felt a deep sense of understanding wash over him. The story had shown him how unchecked anger could lead to serious consequences. Reflecting on his own experiences, Ritsu looked up at the master and asked earnestly, "Master, I understand now how important it is to control my anger, but what should I do in those moments when I feel it rising inside me? How can I keep myself from saying or doing something I'll regret?" The master handed Ritsu a small cup filled to the brim with water. "Walk around the temple 3 times without spilling a drop," the master instructed. Ritsu took the cup and carefully began his walk. His focus was so intense that he didn't notice anything else around him. When he finished, the master smiled and said, "Just as you focused on not spilling the water, focus on holding your tongue when you're angry. With practice, you will learn to control your words, just as you controlled the water." He continued, "The key lies in mindfulness, Ritsu. When you feel anger building, take a deep breath, step back, and give yourself a moment to think. In that pause, you'll find the space to choose your response wisely rather than react impulsively." Ritsu thanked the master, understanding that the key to controlling his temper was mindfulness and practice. From that day on, he worked hard to keep his anger in check, and slowly but surely, he became known not just for his kindness but also for his calm and gentle nature.